Welcome to our channel. Here, we dive deep into powerful books that can transform your life, chapter by chapter, so you can tap into your potential and take action on what really matters. If you're passionate about self-growth and looking for ways to break through personal barriers, don't forget to subscribe and join our journey toward a more fulfilling life. Today, we're diving into the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, a book that has sparked real change for millions by introducing a simple yet transformative habit. In the 5-Second Rule, Robbins teaches that counting down from 5 can stop hesitation in its tracks, giving you the push you need to move forward, no matter what's holding you back. Why should you stick around? This isn't just a motivational boost. It's a straightforward tool you can start using immediately to transform every area of your life: your career, your relationships, your health, and beyond. By using this rule, you'll find out how to overcome procrastination, build confidence, and take control in those critical moments of self-doubt. Stick with us as we break down each chapter of the 5-Second Rule and reveal how you can start using this rule right now to create lasting change. So, if you're ready to conquer hesitation and take charge of your goals, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and get ready to unleash your potential with the power of the 5-Second Rule. Chapter 1. 5 Seconds to Change Your Life. In the opening chapter of the 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins introduces the central concept behind her method: the idea that 5 seconds can be enough time to alter the course of one's life. She begins by recounting a personal story about a challenging period in her life when she struggled to get out of bed each morning. It was during this time that Robbins discovered the transformative power of her 5-Second Rule, a simple technique where, upon feeling an impulse to act, you count down from 5 to 1 and then immediately move forward. Robbins explains that this small act of counting down interrupts self-doubt, hesitation, and procrastination, allowing individuals to take control over their actions. This technique, though simple, has the potential to change behaviors and create momentum toward positive change. The science behind the rule. Robbins delves into the psychological principles underlying the 5-Second Rule, explaining how it leverages cognitive intervention to interrupt negative thought patterns. She discusses the brain's tendency to default to automatic behaviors and explains that counting down disrupts these habits, creating a brief moment where intentional action is possible. By initiating a physical response before the brain can talk itself out of it, the rule becomes a tool for overcoming resistance, whether due to fear, insecurity, or self-doubt. Robbins emphasizes that these 5 seconds represent a window of opportunity for individuals to override mental blocks and take positive actions, even in situations that feel intimidating or uncertain. Why 5 seconds? Robbins specifically chose 5 seconds because it's brief enough to prevent overthinking and hesitation, yet sufficient to reset one's mindset. She describes how the countdown activates the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for decision-making and goal-oriented behavior, instead of letting automatic habits dictate actions. The act of counting down focuses the mind on an immediate task, replacing negative thoughts with a straightforward directive to take action. Robbins notes that the countdown serves as a powerful cue that redirects attention from doubts or fears to immediate action, creating a habit of courage and intentionality over time. Breaking patterns of procrastination. A significant part of Chapter 1 is devoted to discussing how the 5-Second Rule can help individuals overcome procrastination. Robbins explains that, often, people delay tasks not due to laziness, but because of internal resistance, anxiety, or fear of failure. By counting down and initiating movement, individuals can bypass these emotions and build a habit of prompt action. Robbins provides examples of how she used the rule to push through reluctance in various areas of her own life, from personal growth to career challenges, illustrating how 5 seconds of courage can lead to real progress. Taking control of your life. In closing, Robbins encourages readers to consider how much power they truly have over their actions and outcomes, emphasizing that the 5-Second Rule is a tool for reclaiming control over one's life. She acknowledges that while the rule may seem too simple to be effective, it can be a powerful catalyst for change, creating opportunities for personal growth and helping individuals align their actions with their goals. The message of Chapter 1 is clear: By taking just 5 seconds to change your mindset and act on your impulses, you can shift the trajectory of your life. Robbins's final thought is a call to action, urging readers to try the rule and discover how a small decision, made in just 5 seconds, can be the beginning of profound transformation. Chapter 2. How I Discovered the 5-Second Rule. In Chapter 2, Robbins recounts the story of how she stumbled upon the 5-second rule during a particularly low point in her life. She describes the difficulties she faced, including personal struggles and professional setbacks that left her feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and unable to move forward. Robbins explains that she was in a cycle of negative thoughts and self-doubt, which made it challenging to take even the smallest actions toward improving her situation. One morning, after watching a countdown on TV, she had an idea: to count down from 5 and immediately get out of bed. This simple act became the foundation of what she would later call the 5-second rule. The power of the first step. Robbins elaborates on how taking that first step, even something as basic as getting out of bed, can shift a person's mindset. By counting down and moving, she found a way to bypass her inner resistance. She emphasizes that although the concept seems simple, taking that initial step builds momentum and confidence, helping to break the cycle of negative thinking and inactivity. For Robbins, the 5-second rule became a tool to get out of bed, make healthier choices, and gradually take control over other areas of her life. A catalyst for change. Robbins explains how the 5-second rule grew from a technique to wake up on time to a broader strategy for tackling various life challenges. As she began to use the rule in different contexts, such as speaking up in meetings, making healthier decisions, or confronting difficult conversations, she realized that these 5 seconds were not only helping her take action, but also fostering resilience and self-trust. Each time she counted down and acted, she reinforced her ability to face challenges and improve her circumstances. A tool for overcoming fear. One of the key themes of Chapter 2 is how the 5-second rule can help individuals confront their fears. Robbins discusses how fear often stops people from acting, and she uses the rule as a way to push through the paralysis that fear creates. By counting down and focusing on action, individuals can separate themselves from the fear and take control of the situation. Robbins shares personal examples of how using the rule empowered her to make decisions that had previously seemed too daunting. Applying the rule. In the final part of the chapter, Robbins encourages readers to try the rule themselves. She offers practical tips for implementing it in everyday life, suggesting that readers start by identifying small actions they've been avoiding or feeling hesitant about. By applying the rule in these situations, readers can begin to experience its power firsthand. Robbins emphasizes that the 5-second rule is a tool that anyone can use, regardless of their current situation or level of confidence, to start making positive changes in their lives. Chapter 3. What you can expect when you use it. In Chapter 3, Mel Robbins explains what readers can expect when they start using the 5-second rule regularly. She emphasizes that while the rule may seem simplistic, it can lead to profound and often unexpected changes in one's life. Robbins describes how the 5-second rule can help individuals overcome procrastination, fear, and self-doubt, all while building self-confidence and a sense of control over daily actions. She encourages readers to approach the rule with an open mind, as its true power becomes apparent only through consistent practice and application. Building confidence through action. Robbins delves into the impact of the 5-second rule on self-confidence, explaining that confidence is not about feeling ready or capable all the time, but about taking action despite hesitation. Each time an individual uses the rule, they take a small but significant step towards self-trust, reinforcing their ability to act on their intentions. Robbins emphasizes that action itself breeds confidence, and by repeatedly counting down and moving forward, readers can gradually transform their self-image. Over time, this practice not only boosts self-esteem but also helps people feel more in control of their choices and outcomes. How the rule reduces overthinking. A major theme in this chapter is how the 5-second rule helps to curb overthinking. Robbins explains that many people get trapped in cycles of excessive analysis, which can lead to inaction and missed opportunities. The countdown technique disrupts these spirals, providing a mental pause button that shifts focus from thinking to doing. Robbins argues that by limiting the time spent analyzing a decision, individuals can break free from their mental barriers and make quicker, more decisive choices. She encourages readers to experiment with the rule in situations where they find themselves overthinking, such as decision-making or initiating new tasks. Increased resilience and motivation. Robbins also highlights the potential for the 5-second rule to increase resilience and motivation. When people consistently take small actions, they build up a habit of perseverance, which can strengthen their ability to push through challenges. She explains that using the rule creates momentum, allowing individuals to confront difficult situations with greater ease. As they begin to see the positive results of these small efforts, motivation naturally grows. Robbins shares stories of individuals who have used the rule to take on personal and professional goals, overcoming significant obstacles in the process. The long-term impact of the 5-second rule. In the closing section of the chapter, Robbins discusses the long-term benefits of integrating the 5-second rule into daily routines. She emphasizes that while immediate changes may seem subtle, the cumulative effect of using the rule can be life-changing. Small actions, taken repeatedly, create lasting shifts in behavior and mindset. Robbins encourages readers to persist with the rule, as its true power reveals itself over time. By applying it consistently, individuals can create a foundation for personal growth, resilience, and fulfillment. Chapter 4. Why the Rule Works. In Chapter 4, Mel Robbins explains the science behind the effectiveness of the 5-second rule. She argues that while the rule appears simple, it works on a deeper psychological and neurological level to disrupt habits, overcome hesitation, and initiate positive actions. Robbins highlights how the rule taps into the brain's decision-making processes, allowing individuals to interrupt self-defeating thoughts and take control over their actions. By counting down and moving immediately, people create a shift in mindset, breaking out of old habits and retraining themselves to act with purpose and courage. The power of interrupting habits. Robbins emphasizes that many of our behaviors are controlled by habits, which operate subconsciously. The 5-second rule interrupts these automatic behaviors, giving individuals a moment to consciously choose a new action. She explains that counting down from 5 activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, which allows people to overcome their automatic responses and break free from limiting patterns. Robbins encourages readers to use this technique in moments when they feel tempted to procrastinate or avoid challenging tasks. Taking advantage of the brain's instinct to act. A central concept in this chapter is the brain's natural tendency to act on impulses. Robbins explains that when people feel an impulse to do something positive, like speaking up in a meeting or starting a task, they have only a brief window before self-doubt or fear sets in. The 5-second rule capitalizes on this window by encouraging immediate action, allowing people to bypass hesitation and fear. Robbins argues that by consistently acting on positive impulses, individuals can reprogram themselves to be more decisive and confident. The role of courage in personal growth. Robbins also discusses the importance of courage in personal development, highlighting how the 5-second rule helps build this trait. Each time someone uses the rule to take a risk, try something new, or face a fear, they reinforce their ability to act with bravery. Robbins notes that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. She shares examples of how using the rule in moments of hesitation can build resilience and self-trust, ultimately helping people grow and achieve their goals. Overcoming resistance with the rule. Finally, Robbins addresses the concept of resistance, which often holds people back from pursuing their goals. She explains that resistance is a natural reaction to discomfort, but it can be overcome with small, repeated actions. By counting down and taking a single step forward, the 5-second rule helps individuals push through resistance and take control over their behavior. Robbins argues that the rule serves as a practical tool for overcoming the mental blocks that often prevent people from achieving their full potential. Chapter 5. Everyday Courage. In Chapter 5, Mel Robbins explores the concept of everyday courage, and how it impacts personal growth and fulfillment. She emphasizes that courage isn't limited to heroic or life-threatening situations. Rather, it manifests in small, daily moments when people choose to face their fears, express themselves, or take action despite discomfort. Robbins explains that using the 5-second rule helps to build this kind of courage, empowering individuals to overcome hesitation in their everyday lives. By making courageous choices daily, people can transform their mindset and begin pursuing a life of greater authenticity, resilience, and purpose. Redefining courage in daily life. Robbins redefines courage as the willingness to take action despite fear or self-doubt, particularly in ordinary situations. She argues that society often associates courage with extraordinary acts, overlooking the bravery required in day-to-day experiences. For example, speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to someone new, or admitting a mistake are all acts of courage that can have a meaningful impact on personal and professional relationships. Robbins stresses that these small, courageous decisions are integral to building confidence and self-trust, as they reinforce one's ability to act authentically and confidently in various situations. Using the 5-second rule to build confidence. In this chapter, Robbins explains how the 5-second rule is a powerful tool for building confidence through courageous actions. She notes that each time someone uses the rule to push through hesitation, they strengthen their belief in their own abilities. This is because confidence is not an inherent trait but a skill developed through consistent action. Robbins highlights how using the 5-second rule to practice everyday courage enables individuals to face their fears in small increments, which cumulatively builds the self-assurance needed to tackle larger challenges over time. She encourages readers to use the rule in moments when they feel nervous or unsure, as each step forward strengthens their confidence. The link between courage and authenticity. Robbins delves into the relationship between courage and authenticity, explaining that being true to oneself requires bravery. In a world where external pressures often dictate behavior, it takes courage to act in alignment with one's values and beliefs. Robbins argues that when individuals use the 5-second rule to make choices that reflect their authentic selves, they experience a greater sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. She suggests that living authentically may sometimes involve making uncomfortable decisions or going against societal expectations, but it ultimately leads to a more rewarding and meaningful life. Examples of everyday courage. Throughout Chapter 5, Robbins provides relatable examples of everyday courage to illustrate how the 5-second rule can be applied. She shares stories of people who use the rule to face difficult conversations, take on new responsibilities, or pursue personal goals. For instance, she recounts how one individual used the rule to overcome fear of public speaking, gradually becoming more confident by taking small steps each time. Another example involves a person who used the rule to initiate a career change despite initial fears of failure. These stories highlight how the 5-second rule enables individuals to challenge their limitations, take risks, and create positive changes in their lives. Creating a habit of courage. Robbins emphasizes that courage can become a habit developed through regular practice. By using the 5-second rule consistently, individuals can train themselves to take courageous actions almost automatically. She suggests incorporating the rule into daily routines as a way to reinforce bravery and adaptability, helping people navigate new challenges with greater ease. Robbins argues that courage, like any skill, requires consistent effort to grow. She encourages readers to set small, achievable goals for practicing courage each day, as repeated actions lead to lasting changes in behavior and self-perception. The long-term impact of practicing everyday courage. In the closing section of the chapter, Robbins reflects on the long-term benefits of practicing everyday courage. She explains that each small act of bravery contributes to a more resilient mindset, enabling individuals to face both personal and professional challenges with a stronger sense of purpose. Over time, the cumulative effect of these small actions leads to greater self-confidence, a deeper understanding of one's values, and a more fulfilling life. Robbins reiterates that courage is not an inherent trait but a choice made repeatedly, and that using the 5-second rule provides a simple, effective way to make this choice. Chapter 6. What are you waiting for? In Chapter 6, Mel Robbins addresses the reasons people often hesitate or delay taking action, even when they know what they want. She argues that most people are held back by fears, doubts, or the pursuit of perfect timing. Robbins challenges readers to recognize that waiting for the right moment often leads to missed opportunities, as hesitation only reinforces self-doubt. Through the 5-second rule, she encourages readers to overcome procrastination and seize moments of opportunity with immediate action, rather than waiting for external circumstances to change. The illusion of perfect timing. Robbins discusses the common belief that there's a perfect time for everything, arguing that this mindset is often a barrier to progress. Many people wait to feel ready, confident, or certain before they act, hoping that conditions will somehow align. Robbins points out that this waiting is an illusion. There is no perfect moment, and waiting often results in lost opportunities. She encourages readers to use the 5-second rule to act on their goals and aspirations without waiting for ideal conditions, which are rarely as important as they seem. Understanding the root of hesitation. Hesitation, Robbins explains, is often rooted in fear of failure, fear of rejection, or uncertainty about outcomes. These fears can cause people to delay important decisions or actions as they prioritize comfort and security over progress. By using the 5-second rule, individuals can bypass these fears, interrupt the habit of overthinking, and focus on immediate action. Robbins argues that courage is not about feeling fearless, but about acting in spite of fear. When people use the rule to act quickly, they minimize the influence of fear and build confidence through repeated action. The cost of waiting. Robbins emphasizes the consequences of waiting, which include missed opportunities, stagnation, and regret. She highlights that each moment of hesitation reinforces habits of inaction, making it harder to break free from self-imposed limitations. Robbins shares stories of individuals who used the 5-second rule to overcome hesitation and make significant changes in their lives, illustrating that immediate action often leads to rewarding outcomes. She encourages readers to consider what they might be sacrificing by waiting and to use the 5-second rule to start moving forward, even if only in small steps. Taking action now. Robbins concludes the chapter by urging readers to stop waiting and start creating the life they want. She explains that using the 5-second rule in moments of hesitation can lead to a more proactive, fulfilling approach to life. By acting immediately, rather than waiting for motivation or confidence to appear, people can begin achieving their goals and transforming their habits. Robbins emphasizes that every courageous action, no matter how small, builds momentum, helping individuals overcome obstacles and create positive change. Chapter 7. You'll never feel like it. In Chapter 7, Mel Robbins confronts the common tendency to wait for motivation or the right feeling before taking action. She argues that people often expect to feel inspired or prepared to pursue their goals, but that, in reality, these feelings rarely arise on their own. Robbins explains that humans are wired to avoid discomfort and seek immediate pleasure, which makes it difficult to start challenging tasks without an external push. Through the 5-second rule, she encourages readers to take action regardless of how they feel, bypassing the brain's natural resistance to change. The myth of motivation. Robbins discusses the misconception that motivation is necessary for achievement. She explains that waiting to feel like it is one of the most common ways people sabotage their goals, as the desire to take action is often overridden by doubts, distractions, or the pull of comfort. Robbins asserts that motivation is fleeting and unreliable. Therefore, relying on it to start a task or make progress is counterproductive. She urges readers to recognize that they may never feel ready, so taking action through the 5-second rule is essential for overcoming inertia. Breaking the habit of procrastination. In this chapter, Robbins delves into how procrastination stems from a lack of immediate desire to tackle difficult or tedious tasks. She describes how the 5-second rule can help interrupt the cycle of procrastination by pushing individuals to act before excuses or distractions take over. By counting down and moving into action, people override their brain's instinct to avoid discomfort, creating a new habit of starting tasks without overthinking. Robbins emphasizes that even small actions toward a goal can build momentum, making it easier to maintain progress over time. Why feelings are unreliable. Robbins explains that feelings are shaped by numerous factors, including mood, environment, and habits, which can make them unreliable indicators of what one truly wants or needs to do. She argues that relying on feelings can trap individuals in patterns of inaction, especially when pursuing long-term goals that require sustained effort. By using the 5-second rule to act despite how they feel, people learn to prioritize their intentions and values over fleeting emotions. Robbins reinforces that courage is not about feeling ready, but about acting anyway, which leads to growth and progress. Learning to trust action. Robbins closes the chapter by encouraging readers to shift their mindset from waiting for motivation to trusting in the power of action itself. She shares examples of individuals who used the 5-second rule to accomplish goals that initially felt overwhelming or impossible. By choosing to act repeatedly, even in small ways, people can develop a sense of agency and self-trust, knowing they can handle challenges without needing ideal conditions. Robbins concludes that consistent action, rather than ideal feelings, is what creates meaningful progress and personal transformation. Chapter 8. How to start using the rule. In Chapter 8, Mel Robbins provides readers with practical steps to begin incorporating the 5-second rule into their daily lives. She emphasizes that mastering this simple technique requires consistency and a commitment to practice, especially in moments when hesitation or doubt would typically arise. Robbins explains that the rule can be applied to various situations, whether to overcome procrastination, make healthier choices, or improve productivity. By practicing the rule in both small and significant decisions, people can build a habit of acting quickly on their intentions. Starting small. Robbins encourages readers to start using the 5-second rule in minor, low-stakes situations, such as deciding to get out of bed immediately when the alarm rings or opting to choose healthier food options. By applying the rule in manageable ways, individuals can build their confidence and become accustomed to taking action. Robbins explains that these small victories reinforce the habit of using the rule, making it easier to apply in more challenging situations over time. Identifying key moments of hesitation. A critical part of using the 5-second rule is recognizing moments when hesitation creeps in. Robbins suggests paying attention to times when people instinctively want to delay or avoid an action, as these are opportunities to implement the rule. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting or making a difficult phone call, recognizing these moments is the first step toward changing habitual patterns of avoidance. Robbins encourages readers to prepare mentally for these situations so they can quickly initiate the rule without overthinking. Building consistency. Robbins emphasizes the importance of using the rule consistently, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. She argues that regular practice is what solidifies the habit of taking action, creating lasting behavioral change. By repeatedly using the rule, people train their minds to act on their intentions automatically, reducing the time they spend in indecision. Robbins explains that the more often individuals use the 5-second rule, the more they strengthen their ability to follow through on goals without waiting for ideal conditions. Using the rule for long-term goals. Robbins also discusses how the rule can be applied to larger, long-term goals by breaking them down into smaller steps. She advises readers to use the 5-second rule to make incremental progress each day, rather than waiting for motivation or a perfect plan. By acting on small, immediate steps toward a larger objective, individuals can build momentum and maintain focus on their long-term aspirations. Robbins explains that this approach helps prevent feelings of overwhelm and increases the likelihood of sustained commitment to one's goals. Creating accountability. Finally, Robbins suggests that readers create accountability systems to reinforce the habit of using the rule. This could include sharing their goals with others, tracking their progress, or setting reminders to use the 5-second rule throughout the day. She believes that these external motivators can help individuals stay consistent, especially in the early stages of developing the habit. Robbins concludes the chapter by encouraging readers to commit fully to practicing the rule, emphasizing that every small action brings them closer to greater control over their lives and goals. Chapter 9. Improve your health. In Chapter 9, Mel Robbins explores how the 5-second rule can be a powerful tool for improving personal health. She explains that making healthier choices often requires overcoming resistance, excuses, and ingrained habits, which can be challenging to change. Robbins highlights that the rule can help individuals take control of their health decisions by allowing them to act on beneficial impulses before doubts or distractions interfere. From exercise and diet to sleep and mental well-being, the 5-second rule can be applied in multiple areas to create sustainable, positive changes. Starting small with health goals. Robbins advises readers to start with small, achievable health goals when using the rule. By applying the 5-second rule to simple actions, such as choosing water over soda or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, people can gradually build healthier habits without overwhelming themselves. She explains that small changes create a foundation of confidence, making it easier to tackle more ambitious health goals in the future. Robbins emphasizes that every small, healthy choice reinforces the habit of using the rule, which can eventually lead to more substantial improvements in overall wellness. Overcoming excuses to exercise. One of the most common areas where people struggle is incorporating regular exercise into their routines. Robbins discusses how the 5-second rule can help overcome the natural resistance to physical activity. When people feel the impulse to skip a workout, they can count down and act, bypassing the mental excuses that often arise. Robbins shares examples of individuals who use the rule to commit to fitness routines, emphasizing that taking even a small action, like putting on workout clothes or stepping outside, can build momentum and make exercise a consistent part of life. Making healthier dietary choices. Robbins also applies the rule to making healthier food choices, noting that many people struggle with cravings, emotional eating, and convenience foods. The 5-second rule can help individuals resist unhealthy temptations by prompting them to act on their healthier instincts before excuses set in. Robbins encourages readers to use the rule whenever they feel the urge to make a poor dietary choice, turning moments of temptation into opportunities to build discipline and self-control. She explains that consistent use of the rule can make healthier eating habits more natural and automatic over time. Prioritizing sleep and mental well-being. Robbins emphasizes the importance of using the rule to prioritize sleep and mental health, as these are crucial components of overall wellness. She suggests that people can use the 5-second rule to create bedtime routines, eliminate distractions, and resist the urge to stay up late. Additionally, Robbins discusses how the rule can help in managing stress, negative thinking, and self-doubt by prompting individuals to take immediate steps toward relaxation or self-care. By acting on positive impulses, people can create healthier routines that support both their physical and mental health. Sustaining long-term health benefits. In conclusion, Robbins highlights that using the 5-second rule consistently can create lasting changes in health and wellness. She explains that small, repeated actions build confidence and resilience, enabling individuals to maintain their health goals long-term. Robbins encourages readers to commit to making healthier choices daily, using the rule to combat the inertia and excuses that often lead to poor habits. She emphasizes that the 5-second rule empowers people to make immediate, proactive decisions for their health, leading to a more balanced, fulfilling lifestyle. Chapter 10. Increase productivity. In Chapter 10, Mel Robbins explains how the 5-second rule can enhance productivity by helping individuals prioritize tasks and overcome procrastination. She argues that one of the biggest barriers to productivity is the habit of delaying important tasks due to distractions, fear of failure, or simple inertia. By counting down from 5 and taking immediate action, Robbins shows how readers can build a more disciplined approach to their work and daily responsibilities. The rule not only motivates people to start tasks, but also helps them stay focused, leading to improved productivity and a sense of accomplishment. Combating procrastination. Robbins identifies procrastination as a common productivity killer, often caused by overthinking or discomfort with difficult tasks. She explains that the 5-second rule interrupts the tendency to delay by creating a short window for action before doubts can arise. This tactic helps bypass the mental resistance that often leads to putting tasks off. Robbins encourages readers to use the rule whenever they notice themselves hesitating or rationalizing a delay. By acting on the countdown, people can replace procrastination with immediate progress, which builds momentum for the rest of the day. Focusing on priority tasks. Another key aspect of productivity that Robbins discusses is the importance of focusing on high-priority tasks. She suggests using the 5-second rule to tackle these tasks first, before less important or distracting ones. By addressing crucial work early in the day, individuals can make meaningful strides toward their goals and reduce the stress of unfinished tasks. Robbins emphasizes that taking immediate action on priority tasks, rather than getting caught up in minor tasks or distractions, helps create a more efficient workflow. Overcoming distractions. Robbins acknowledges that distractions are inevitable, especially in a world filled with digital notifications and constant demands on attention. She suggests using the 5-second rule to actively resist these distractions by counting down and refocusing on the task at hand. For example, if someone feels the urge to check social media during work hours, they can use the rule to pull themselves back to focus. This method helps individuals develop greater control over their attention, allowing them to maintain productivity even in distracting environments. Building momentum with small wins. Robbins emphasizes that taking small, consistent actions builds momentum, which can increase overall productivity. By using the rule to act on even minor tasks, people create a series of small wins that fuel motivation and confidence. Robbins explains that these small successes can make larger tasks feel more manageable, as they demonstrate that consistent action leads to progress. She encourages readers to use the rule throughout the day, whether for quick tasks or significant projects, to maintain a steady rhythm of productivity. Creating a proactive mindset. Lastly, Robbins discusses how the 5-second rule fosters a proactive mindset, empowering individuals to take charge of their schedules and responsibilities. Rather than waiting for the right moment or mood to start working, the rule encourages immediate action, regardless of external circumstances. Robbins argues that adopting this proactive approach can lead to greater efficiency, as individuals become more adept at managing their time and staying on top of their goals. This mindset shift helps people feel more in control of their productivity and overall progress. In conclusion, Robbins highlights that the 5-second rule is a practical tool for boosting productivity by combating procrastination, focusing on priorities, managing distractions, and maintaining momentum. She reminds readers that consistency is key, and by using the rule repeatedly, they can develop a habit of action that significantly enhances their productivity and sense of achievement. Chapter 11. In Procrastination. In Chapter 11, Mel Robbins delves into procrastination, highlighting it as one of the most significant obstacles to personal and professional growth. She explains that procrastination often arises from the instinct to avoid discomfort, whether it's fear of failure, feelings of overwhelm, or the mental effort required by challenging tasks. Robbins introduces the 5-second rule as an effective tool to break this cycle, emphasizing that quick action, rather than overthinking, is the key to overcoming procrastination. By using the rule to initiate tasks, individuals can take control of their actions, end delays, and build momentum toward their goals. Understanding the root of procrastination. Robbins first examines why people procrastinate, suggesting that it's usually tied to emotional avoidance rather than pure laziness. She argues that people delay tasks not because they don't want to do them, but because they want to avoid the feelings associated with those tasks, such as anxiety, stress, or fear. According to Robbins, recognizing procrastination as a form of emotional avoidance helps individuals understand its deeper root causes, making it easier to address. She explains that by identifying what they're avoiding emotionally, people can use the 5-second rule to bypass these feelings and take immediate action. The 5-second rule as an anti-procrastination tool. The chapter highlights how the 5-second rule can help disrupt the habit of procrastination by prompting action before doubts arise. Robbins emphasizes that the rule works as a push against hesitation, allowing individuals to bypass their emotional resistance. By counting down and moving forward, people can overcome the initial urge to avoid a task, replacing procrastination with action. Robbins encourages readers to use the rule anytime they feel the impulse to delay, noting that taking even a small step, such as opening a document or starting a task, can set off a chain reaction that leads to task completion. Breaking the cycle of delayed action. Robbins explains that procrastination often leads to a negative cycle of delayed action, guilt, and stress. When individuals put off tasks, they typically feel a sense of guilt or failure, which can create a mental barrier against starting. The 5-second rule interrupts this cycle by providing a simple, actionable strategy for taking that first step. Robbins suggests that by consistently using the rule to begin tasks, people can replace the habit of delay with a new habit of immediate action, reducing guilt and building self-discipline. Creating accountability and focus. Robbins also discusses the importance of creating accountability to end procrastination. She suggests that pairing the 5-second rule with clear goals and self-imposed deadlines can enhance focus and motivation. By counting down and starting a task, individuals commit themselves to the action, which makes it easier to follow through. Robbins encourages readers to share their goals with others or set specific deadlines, as these forms of accountability add extra motivation and reduce the likelihood of delay. The benefits of immediate action. In closing, Robbins emphasizes that immediate action has numerous benefits beyond just task completion. Acting right away builds confidence, reinforces self-trust, and reduces the stress associated with procrastination. Robbins argues that each instance of using the rule to end procrastination strengthens the individual's ability to manage time and responsibilities effectively. She encourages readers to view each use of the 5-second rule as a step toward becoming more proactive, resilient, and productive. Ultimately, Robbins reaffirms that the 5-second rule is a practical, powerful way to break free from procrastination by focusing on immediate action over emotional resistance. She leaves readers with the idea that by applying the rule consistently, they can transform their habits, achieve their goals, and cultivate a mindset of productivity and self-discipline. Chapter 12. Stop Worrying. In Chapter 12, Mel Robbins addresses the pervasive issue of worry and its detrimental impact on our mental health and productivity. She explains that worrying often stems from an imagined fear of future events, leading to stress, anxiety, and inaction. Robbins introduces the 5-second rule as a tool for breaking free from the cycle of worry, arguing that taking immediate action on worries, rather than letting them spiral out of control, can help individuals regain a sense of control and calm. She emphasizes that the rule is not just about physical action, but also about taking mental action to counteract the paralysis that worry creates. The nature of worry. Robbins explores the nature of worry, describing it as an automatic response to uncertainty or fear. She explains that worrying is an instinctive reaction that often leads people to focus on worst-case scenarios, even when they have no evidence to support these fears. She notes that worry can create a feeling of being trapped or powerless, as it prevents individuals from moving forward and taking proactive steps. Robbins asserts that worry is not a productive state of mind, as it only serves to drain energy and increase stress without solving the underlying problems. The 5-second rule to overcome worry. To combat worry, Robbins suggests using the 5-second rule to shift from anxious thought patterns to positive action. By counting down from 5 and then immediately taking action, individuals can interrupt the cycle of worry and redirect their focus to something productive. Robbins highlights that the key to overcoming worry is taking any action, whether big or small, because action helps to shift the mind away from fearful thoughts and towards constructive solutions. She argues that this shift in focus not only helps reduce anxiety, but also empowers individuals to confront and address the issues causing their worry. Taking control of your thoughts. Robbins explains that worry is often the result of a lack of control over one's thoughts, and the 5-second rule is a way to regain that control. She encourages readers to use the rule to stop overthinking and take charge of their minds. Instead of ruminating over potential problems, individuals can count down and focus on a simple, actionable step to move forward. This process helps to break the mental loop of worry, allowing individuals to focus on what they can control in the present moment, rather than imagining future outcomes. Building confidence to stop worrying. Another key aspect Robbins discusses is how the 5-second rule builds confidence by encouraging individuals to take immediate action in the face of worry. Each time someone uses the rule to take action instead of worrying, they reinforce their ability to handle challenges and trust their own decision-making. Robbins notes that building this confidence allows individuals to become less susceptible to worry over time, as they realize they have the capability to manage whatever comes their way. Practical tips for using the rule to stop worrying. Robbins offers practical tips for using the 5-second rule to combat specific worries. She suggests using the rule to take a deep breath, refocus on the present moment, and remind oneself that worrying about the future is unproductive. In addition, Robbins encourages readers to apply the rule whenever they feel anxious or overwhelmed, whether in the form of sending an email, making a phone call, or simply standing up and moving forward. Taking action, no matter how small, helps reduce the mental fog caused by worry and increases clarity and focus. In conclusion, Robbins reaffirms that worry is a natural human response, but it doesn't have to control our lives. By using the 5-second rule to take immediate action, individuals can interrupt their worrying thoughts and move forward with a greater sense of calm and control. Robbins reminds readers that worry often holds them back from taking action, and by making the decision to act, they can break free from anxiety and create more positive outcomes in their lives. Chapter 13. End Anxiety. In Chapter 13, Mel Robbins addresses the powerful and often debilitating feeling of anxiety, exploring its causes and offering the 5-second rule as a method for ending anxious spirals. Robbins defines anxiety as the feeling of fear or unease about uncertain outcomes, and explains that it often arises from the mind's tendency to focus on potential negative events. She points out that while anxiety is a natural response to stress, it can become overwhelming when it stops us from taking action or moving forward in our lives. Robbins argues that using the 5-second rule to take immediate action can interrupt anxious thoughts and bring a sense of control back to the individual. The cycle of anxiety. Robbins explains that anxiety is often a result of excessive thinking and overanalyzing situations. When faced with uncertainty, people tend to focus on all the things that could go wrong, creating a feedback loop of worry that only intensifies anxiety. She points out that this cycle can paralyze people, preventing them from acting, which only increases feelings of helplessness and fear. Anxiety, according to Robbins, is rooted in the unknown, and the longer we delay taking action, the more our minds feed into irrational fears. The 5-second rule helps to break this cycle by forcing individuals to act before their anxiety has the chance to escalate. Using the 5-second rule to interrupt anxiety. Robbins emphasizes that taking action is the most effective antidote to anxiety. She explains that the 5-second rule works by prompting individuals to count down from 5 and immediately do something, even if it's just a small task, to stop the flow of anxious thoughts. By forcing action at the moment anxiety strikes, individuals can disrupt their worry, shift their focus, and regain control over their emotions. Robbins highlights how this simple shift in behavior can bring a sense of accomplishment and calm, and prevent the spiral of anxiety from taking hold. Why action is the key to ending anxiety. Robbins further explains that action breaks the habit of overthinking, which is often the root cause of anxiety. The key to ending anxiety is not to try to eliminate the anxious feelings, but to engage in something productive that directs attention elsewhere. Every time an individual uses the 5-second rule to act, they build confidence in their ability to handle difficult situations, and the more they practice this, the less control anxiety has over their lives. Robbins states that by practicing this method repeatedly, individuals can train their brains to react with action rather than fear, gradually reducing their anxiety over time. The importance of staying present. Robbins also discusses the role of mindfulness in managing anxiety. She explains that when individuals are anxious, their thoughts are often preoccupied with the future, imagining negative outcomes that may never happen. The 5-second rule helps to counteract this tendency by encouraging people to focus on the present moment. By taking action immediately, individuals bring their attention back to the task at hand, reducing the power of their anxious thoughts. Robbins suggests that staying present through action is one of the most effective ways to manage and prevent anxiety. Practical tips for ending anxiety. In the chapter, Robbins offers practical strategies for applying the 5-second rule to anxiety. She suggests that whenever anxiety arises, readers should pause, count down from 5, and choose one small action to take. This could be something as simple as taking a deep breath, making a phone call, or sending an email. Robbins stresses that the goal is to act, not necessarily to solve the problem immediately, but to break the cycle of anxiety and regain a sense of control. By acting in the face of anxiety, individuals can build momentum toward tackling larger challenges and reduce the power of their worries. In conclusion, Robbins reiterates that anxiety is a natural part of life, but does not have to dominate one's experience. Through the consistent use of the 5-second rule, individuals can break free from the cycle of anxiety and take control of their emotions. By acting immediately and staying present, people can reduce anxiety, regain confidence, and move forward with greater clarity and calm. Robbins encourages readers to view anxiety not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity to practice resilience and take empowered action. Chapter 14. Beat Fear. In Chapter 14, Mel Robbins explores the role fear plays in holding us back from reaching our full potential and offers the 5-second rule as a strategy for overcoming it. Robbins defines fear as a natural, primal reaction to perceived danger, but she explains that in many cases, our fears are not rooted in real threats. Instead, fear often arises from the unknown or from our own limiting beliefs about what might happen in the future. The 5-second rule, she argues, helps to short-circuit these automatic fearful reactions and encourages immediate action, which is the key to moving through fear and beyond it. Understanding fear. Robbins delves into the psychology of fear, explaining that it is an automatic response designed to protect us from danger. While this was essential for survival in our evolutionary past, fear often becomes disproportionate in modern life, where many of our fears are psychological rather than physical. She points out that fear tends to paralyze us, keeping us stuck in a state of inaction, and that the longer we avoid facing our fears, the more power they have over us. Robbins asserts that, in order to overcome fear, we need to act in spite of it, rather than letting it control us. The 5-second rule as a tool to beat fear. Robbins explains that the 5-second rule can be a powerful tool for beating fear. When fear strikes, the rule encourages individuals to count down from 5 and immediately take action, no matter how small. This immediate action helps to disrupt the natural response of avoiding fear, starts to break the pattern of inaction. Robbins emphasizes that the key to overcoming fear is not to wait for the fear to subside, but to act despite it. Every time a person acts in the face of fear, they weaken its hold on them, and the next time they face fear, it becomes a little easier to take action. How fear can hold us back. Fear, Robbins explains, holds us back from reaching our goals, taking risks, and pursuing our dreams. It causes us to overthink and dwell on what could go wrong, leading to procrastination and missed opportunities. Fear can take many forms, from fear of failure to fear of rejection, but Robbins highlights that no matter the source, fear's ultimate effect is to prevent action. The 5-second rule is a simple yet effective way to break free from this pattern. By taking action immediately, individuals can take control of the situation and diminish the power of fear. Building confidence through action. Robbins discusses how each time you take action in the face of fear, you build confidence. Fear can often feel like a wall, but with each act of courage, you chip away at that wall. She encourages readers to use the 5-second rule repeatedly, as every instance of overcoming fear through action increases one's ability to handle fear in the future. This process builds resilience, reinforcing the understanding that fear does not have to dictate our decisions or our lives. Robbins points out that confidence grows when we learn to take control of our fear, rather than letting it control us. The power of courage. Robbins emphasizes that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. She challenges readers to rethink their view of fear, suggesting that fear is not something to avoid but something to move through. Using the 5-second rule to act courageously helps individuals build mental strength, and over time, the fear becomes less intimidating. Robbins believes that courage is a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens the more it's exercised. By facing fear head-on and taking action, individuals develop a sense of power and control over their lives. Practical tips for beating fear. Robbins offers practical advice for using the 5-second rule to beat fear in specific situations. She suggests that whenever you feel fear or hesitation, you should pause, count down from 5, and take one small action. Whether it's making a phone call, sending an email, or taking the first step toward a larger goal, action is the antidote to fear. Robbins also advises readers to focus on the process rather than the outcome. By shifting the focus to the act of taking action, you can bypass the fear of failure and build momentum toward success. In conclusion, Robbins reiterates that fear is a natural response, but it doesn't have to control our lives. By using the 5-second rule to act in the face of fear, individuals can overcome the paralysis caused by fear and move forward toward their goals. She encourages readers to remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Every time you take action, you strengthen your ability to face fear, creating a life where you are in control, not your fears. Chapter 15. Building Real Confidence. In Chapter 15, Mel Robbins explores the concept of confidence and how it differs from self-esteem. While many people equate confidence with feeling good about themselves or believing in their abilities, Robbins suggests that true confidence comes from consistently taking action, particularly in situations that challenge us. According to Robbins, confidence is not a fixed trait, it's something that is built through repeated acts of courage and facing our fears. The chapter emphasizes the power of the 5-second rule in helping individuals build real, lasting confidence. Confidence versus self-esteem. Robbins begins by distinguishing between confidence and self-esteem. She explains that self-esteem is how we feel about ourselves, but confidence is our belief in our ability to take action and achieve things. Confidence, she argues, comes from experience, specifically from doing things that push us outside of our comfort zones and making progress despite challenges. Self-esteem, while important, can fluctuate depending on external factors such as praise or approval, but true confidence remains steady because it is rooted in our ability to take consistent action toward our goals. How the 5-second rule builds confidence. The 5-second rule, Robbins explains, is a key tool in building real confidence because it helps us take action despite our feelings of doubt, fear, or hesitation. Each time we use the rule to act, we prove to ourselves that we can do hard things. Robbins emphasizes that confidence is not about waiting for the right feelings to show up, but about taking the first step, even when we don't feel ready. By consistently using the 5-second rule, we create a pattern of action that builds momentum and leads to greater self-belief. The more we act in the face of uncertainty, the more our confidence grows. The role of courage in confidence. Robbins argues that courage is at the heart of confidence. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. Rather, it means acting in spite of fear. She explains that every time we face a fear or discomfort and push ourselves to take action, we build our courage, which in turn builds confidence. This creates a cycle. Taking action builds courage, and courage builds confidence. Robbins underscores that real confidence is not about avoiding failure or fear, but about having the courage to act despite those feelings. How to develop confidence in any situation. The chapter also offers practical advice for developing confidence in specific situations. Robbins suggests that when faced with a challenge, rather than focusing on the outcome or the pressure to succeed, we should focus on the act of taking action. This shift in perspective helps reduce the anxiety that often comes with trying to perform perfectly. Robbins advises readers to use the 5-second rule to bypass the inner critic and take immediate action, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, approaching someone new, or tackling a difficult task. By taking these small, courageous steps, we build our confidence over time. Embracing imperfection. Robbins also addresses the importance of embracing imperfection in the journey to building confidence. She explains that perfectionism is often a barrier to taking action because we fear failing or making mistakes. However, the process of building confidence requires us to let go of the need to be perfect and to embrace the idea that failure is part of growth. By allowing ourselves to be imperfect and still take action, we move toward the kind of confidence that is unshakable because it is based on experience, not idealized outcomes. Real confidence is sustainable. In the final part of the chapter, Robbins emphasizes that real confidence is sustainable because it is based on action rather than feelings. When we consistently use the 5-second rule to push ourselves to take action, we create a foundation of self-trust. This builds the resilience needed to keep going in the face of setbacks and challenges. Real confidence, Robbins concludes, comes from knowing that we are capable of handling whatever life throws our way, as long as we continue to take courageous action. In conclusion, Robbins asserts that confidence is not a trait we are born with, but something we build through action. By using the 5-second rule to take immediate steps, we begin to cultivate courage, overcome self-doubt, and develop real confidence. The key is consistency. Each action we take, no matter how small, strengthens our belief in our ability to succeed and helps us become the confident individuals we aspire to be. Chapter 16. Pursuing Passion. In Chapter 16, Mel Robbins discusses the importance of pursuing passion as a driving force for motivation, fulfillment, and resilience. She explains that passion is not just an interest but a deep commitment to something meaningful. Robbins emphasizes that finding and following one's passion brings a sense of purpose and direction, making it easier to overcome challenges. She outlines how the 5-second rule can help individuals take the necessary steps to explore and nurture their passions, even if they are initially unsure of what those passions might be. Defining passion. Robbins begins by clarifying what passion truly means. She explains that passion is not simply a fleeting interest or hobby. It is a deep-rooted drive towards something that matters to us. For many, finding their passion feels daunting, as they may fear that their interests are not big enough. Robbins encourages readers to start small and follow what excites them, rather than waiting for a grand calling. By consistently exploring their interests, people can discover passions that bring lasting joy and satisfaction. Using the 5-second rule to pursue passion. The 5-second rule is essential in helping people take the first steps toward exploring their passions, Robbins explains. She emphasizes that often, people hold back because of doubts, fear of judgment, or fear of failure. The rule serves as a tool to overcome hesitation by allowing individuals to act before self-doubt sets in. Robbins suggests using the rule to begin small, manageable actions like signing up for a class, attending a networking event, or reaching out to a mentor. These small steps, powered by the 5-second rule, help build momentum and confidence as people start to engage with their interests more deeply. Finding purpose through passion. Robbins highlights that passion leads to a sense of purpose, which is essential for long-term happiness and resilience. When people pursue something that matters to them, they are more willing to face setbacks and challenges. Passion, she explains, gives individuals a why that sustains them even when things get tough. The chapter emphasizes that purpose does not necessarily mean changing the world, but finding personal significance in what we do. Robbins encourages readers to think about what truly makes them feel alive, and to use the 5-second rule to take steps toward incorporating these passions into their daily lives. Passion and fear. According to Robbins, fear often arises when people think about pursuing their passions, as they may worry about failure, judgment, or the risks involved. She explains that passion and fear often go hand in hand, and that feeling fear is a sign that we are pushing ourselves towards something important. Robbins argues that using the 5-second rule to take action, despite fear, helps to break through these mental barriers. Each time individuals use the rule to pursue what they love, they reinforce their belief in their ability to follow through, building resilience and courage along the way. Balancing passion with practicality. Robbins acknowledges that pursuing passion does not always mean abandoning practicality. For many, pursuing a passion may need to coexist with responsibilities like work or family. She encourages readers to start by integrating small doses of their passion into their current lives. By making incremental changes, like dedicating a few hours each week to a project or volunteering in a field of interest, people can begin to explore their passions without upending their entire lives. Robbins emphasizes that the 5-second rule can help individuals take these small, meaningful steps, creating a balance between passion and practical obligations. A lifelong journey. In closing, Robbins highlights that pursuing passion is a lifelong journey rather than a one-time discovery. She urges readers to be patient with themselves and to stay open to exploring new interests over time. The 5-second rule, she notes, is a tool that will continue to serve as people's passions evolve and deepen. Robbins encourages readers to view passion as an ongoing exploration that will enrich their lives and to use the 5-second rule to keep taking action, even as their goals and interests shift. Ultimately, Robbins inspires readers to use the 5-second rule to pursue what they love. By taking small, consistent actions, individuals can build lives filled with purpose, joy, and meaning. Pursuing passion, she concludes, is about continually stepping forward, fueled by curiosity and courage, to create a life that aligns with one's deepest values. Chapter 17. Enrich your relationships. In Chapter 17, the final chapter, Mel Robbins explores how the 5-second rule can transform and strengthen relationships by encouraging people to connect more deeply, show vulnerability, and express appreciation. Robbins explains that relationships, whether personal or professional, thrive when individuals make the effort to communicate openly, express gratitude, and overcome insecurities that hinder genuine connection. By using the 5-second rule, people can break free from self-doubt and hesitation, helping them take meaningful steps to build and maintain stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Breaking the habit of hesitation. Robbins emphasizes that hesitation is one of the primary barriers to building deeper connections. Often, people hold back from expressing affection, sharing thoughts, or reaching out due to fear of rejection or insecurity. The 5-second rule provides a way to override this hesitation, allowing individuals to act on their intentions before self-doubt can interfere. Robbins encourages readers to use the rule to bridge gaps in their relationships, whether it's sending a message to reconnect with someone or expressing appreciation to a loved one. She explains that by overcoming hesitation, people can develop habits that foster stronger relationships and emotional resilience. Expressing appreciation and gratitude. Robbins discusses the power of expressing appreciation in relationships, highlighting that small acts of gratitude can have a profound impact. She encourages readers to use the 5-second rule to seize moments to show appreciation, whether it's complimenting a coworker, thanking a friend, or expressing gratitude to a family member. These acts of appreciation create positive reinforcement in relationships, helping both parties feel valued and understood. Robbins notes that expressing gratitude not only strengthens bonds but also enhances one's own sense of well-being, as it reinforces positive emotions and cultivates a mindset of abundance and kindness. Building trust through vulnerability. According to Robbins, vulnerability is essential for establishing trust and authenticity in relationships. However, many people avoid showing vulnerability out of fear of judgment or rejection. The 5-second rule can be a valuable tool for pushing past this fear, enabling people to share their true thoughts and feelings. Robbins suggests using the rule to take small risks in conversations, like opening up about personal experiences or acknowledging mistakes. She explains that this willingness to be vulnerable allows others to feel more comfortable opening up, creating a foundation of trust and mutual understanding that strengthens the relationship. Overcoming conflict with compassion. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how people handle it can determine the health of the connection. Robbins advises readers to use the 5-second rule to approach conflicts with a mindset of compassion rather than defensiveness. When tensions arise, individuals can count down and choose to respond calmly, seeking to understand the other person's perspective rather than reacting emotionally. Robbins explains that taking this pause helps people respond thoughtfully and address issues constructively. This approach not only resolves conflict more effectively, but also demonstrates respect and empathy, key ingredients for long-term relationship success. Deepening professional connections. Robbins extends the application of the 5-second rule to professional relationships, where hesitation can prevent people from networking, asking for mentorship, or offering help. She encourages readers to use the rule to overcome doubts and initiate professional interactions that could open doors or build valuable networks. Robbins explains that reaching out to colleagues or mentors, even when it feels intimidating, is a vital step for career growth. She highlights that these small, courageous acts often lead to unexpected opportunities and create a support system that enriches one's personal and professional life. Nurturing relationships with consistency. Consistency, Robbins emphasizes, is crucial for maintaining strong relationships. She encourages readers to use the 5-second rule not just in initial interactions, but to regularly reach out and nurture connections over time. By making a consistent effort, sending a quick message, checking in, or setting up time to reconnect, relationships remain active and meaningful. Robbins points out that this consistency shows commitment and care, which deepens bonds and provides stability in times of change or hardship. In closing, Robbins underscores the transformative power of the 5-second rule in enriching relationships. By consistently taking small actions, expressing gratitude, showing vulnerability, approaching conflicts with compassion, and nurturing connections, individuals can cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Robbins leaves readers with the message that genuine connection is built on intentional effort and openness, and that using the 5-second rule helps individuals overcome insecurities and hesitations that often prevent meaningful relationships from blossoming. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. This book may seem simple, but the power it holds to transform your life is massive. By using the 5-second rule, you've learned how to take control of hesitation, step into moments of courage, and tackle your biggest goals one count at a time. Remember, it's not about waiting until you feel ready, because as Robbins reminds us, that moment may never come. Instead, you now have a practical tool to silence self-doubt, push through fear, and make those crucial decisions that lead to real change. If you found this helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts or success stories in the comments, and subscribe for more content that inspires action and self-growth. Keep counting down, keep moving forward, and remember, change is just 5 seconds away. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.